Fedotov.
Any lineup changes? Garnett's in?
Garnet Hathaway's going to play. Yep.
How good is it to see him back in the lineup?
It's great. It's always tough with that type of injury, and so he plays a very physical style. So when you put him in, there's going to be a lot of contact, and so he's comfortable with it, and that's a real important thing, and we're happy to see him back in there.
With Garnett coming in, who's coming out?
D'Lo will come out.
What's the development group told you about the new player who's going to come in, Carson Dor, the guy you guys signed on Saturday? Sort of good size. I watched some of the clips. Went online myself, watched some of the stuff, and looks like he gets around the ice well. It's hard to watch a guy at that level and then sort of try and extrapolate out what he's going to look like here. So kind of anxious to get him on the ice Wednesday and, see what he looks like at this pace. And he's a guy that we need depth at center, and hopefully he can be one of those solutions for us.
Is there a reason why he wasn't able to get here today? Because I can't imagine it's not a visa issue like it was with Pelletier.
Well, he has to pass a bunch of medical stuff anyway, so that's what he's doing tomorrow. So even if we had a skate tomorrow, he wouldn't be on the ice. He'd be doing medical. So we have to make sure that's all up to snuff, and then he'll be on the ice with us Wednesday.
What's kind of the process with having someone come in this late in the season, especially someone who wasn't playing at the NHL level?
It happens on a lot of teams, and we'll insert them in and we'll indoctrinate them into how we would like to play, and kind of get him out there and see what he looks like. He's probably going to play Saturday. If he doesn't play Saturday, he's going to play Wednesday, and so he's going to start his career in one of the two greatest NHL buildings and cities. So he can't miss there. But we want to try and get him up to speed and just kind of see where he fits in. We've got 6 games once he gets here, and hopefully he can get in the majority of them and get his feet wet, and then when training camp comes around, he's got a way better idea on what this league is all about.
Brad, with Garnet Hathaway, how much do you think you guys just missed his style of play in March? It's kind of a guy that can swing momentum, and it seems like at times this month you guys really could have used that momentum swinger kind of.
Yeah, I think his aggressiveness. I think we missed him and Risto, through that long stretch of games, and physicality can change a game. It can change how players play. It can change momentum, and so you always miss those high character and especially when they play physical, those types of guys.
Risto, is there hope he'll be back this season? Because we obviously not seeing him on the ice.
No, the plan is to not have him back this season. So that's I'm not 100% on what the timeline looks like, but I can't imagine he would be playing in the next couple weeks.
You mentioned the other day that every game you would feel more comfortable. Where are you now in terms of being the head coach, the interim head coach, and the comfort?
It's it starts to feel like something you've done before. It's been a long time, but it's been fun obviously to win the first couple. And it's been fun to watch guys kind of find their scoring touch again. We've obviously scored at a much higher rate the last couple of games. That's really hard to sustain. So a lot of what we're trying to talk about is to recognize not so much with Nashville, but with the Montreals of the world that are scratching and clawing to get into a playoff spot. It's going to be a level of desperation that we're going to be up against, and we have to match that or better it. And so there's a few things we hopefully clean up from the last couple games, away from the puck especially. But at the same time try and play a little bit
little bit more in sync offensively, I guess I would say. It's, there's been some fantastic plays. I mean, that Tippett play to go around and set up Pelche that's ridiculous, right? That's that's stuff you try and practice and it never works, and then he does it in a game. That stuff is it's a sort of the stage this team is at in this stage of the the season, unfortunately, that we'd love to be playing meaningful games right now. We're not. Can we salvage something positive out of this as individual players and as a group of players? And we're trying to pump as much energy into that room. And this is 15 games in 28 nights tonight. We talked about that as well, where your tendency is to not cut corners, but maybe find a little bit easier way to play, and before you know it, you get behind the 8 ball. The great thing about the 2 games since I've been doing this job is we've got out in front early. Mishkov scores early against Montreal. I thought the first shift by the Cates line was fantastic. When you talk about establishing a game against Buffalo, textbook breakout, textbook forecheck, create a chance, stay on the puck. All Buffalo has is a high flipper with 50 seconds into their first shift, and now we get to take that puck and put it right back down on them again. And so that's about as good as you can start in those games. We've got early goals. We've got on the score sheet early, so we haven't chased the game, and that's a real luxury as a coach. You get to coach a little bit different that way as well.
You put Jamie Drysdale and Cam York together in the last game. What was it that made you maybe make that switch?
Well, I guess we liked Sealer and Sanheim enough to take a look. I think now is also a time to maybe look at combinations that you might not have considered. If we're going down this stretch run in a different scenario. So. I've played them a little bit when I was running the D in scenarios down late, down the last 6-7 minutes when we were trailing, and you like what you see. Sometimes the full 60 minutes, you see where maybe some of the shortcomings might come in whatever, any combination. So yeah, we'll probably go back with it again tonight and see what it looks and see if they can create a little bit more chemistry and a little bit cleaner game.
Sealer's a guy that when he first started here, playing third pair minutes, and then last year second pair. Is he a guy you can maybe envision playing top pair minutes just with how good he is defensively?
Well, he's got an energy that's contagious and an aggression that drags other guys into that sort of battle type atmosphere, and I like that. I think it's hard to project where Nick is next year. I think if we have a complete decor, one that we're happy with, he's probably second or third pair, and playing minutes that he's more used to, and being a huge contributor on the penalty kill as well.